And the more I think about it, I think I actually might, as far as cooperative play.
All right, hold on, man. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. Top 5 minutes. You get you
Top
get
5.
yeah, you get the we're gonna do it. We're gonna do the top 5 minutes.
Top 5, 5 minutes.
Top 5.
Co-op games we played together.
Yeah. All right.
We're gonna have a lot of overlap on this one.
Oh, yeah. It's only 5 and we got 5 minutes. It's 10:13 right now at my time, 11:13 your time, so we have until 10:18. What's your number 5? Number 5.
All right, number 5. So top 5. Number 5 is Total War Warhammer 3.
Ah, that's good. That's a good choice, man.
Yeah, we only played a couple of campaigns, but those couple of campaigns were or skirmishes, whatever you want to call them. Not skirmishes, but we did the whole map,
Yeah.
and the thing. I think we did 2 or 3, but it was one that I look forward to coming back to. And most of the ones on this list, I'm trying to think, okay, what did I actually want to play, but I had to like not play deliberately so that I didn't ruin the, I didn't want to burn out early or anything.
Yeah, no.
Um,
I thought Total War was pretty yeah, we did at least 2 or 3. Yeah, cuz I remember I ran the Orcs one time and yeah, we did at least 2 or 3. I remember the
yeah,
dwarves like we had the in-game content on that one, and the dwarves like just attacked the map and kind of made it miserable. But but we didn't realize it was the in game, and it was just. Do you remember that
yeah,
when
yeah.
all
The
the
dwarves, they
yeah.
just kind of came up out of nowhere. I think it was like a deliberate, like
Well, yeah, no, it
kind
was
of
in game.
end
Yeah,
game thing.
yeah, it hits like the 100 turn, but we didn't realize that at first. It was like, what are these dwarves doing?
Yeah, they did dwarves once, and then the other time it was what do you call them? The elves, like the tree elves or whatever.
Yeah, but I want to say we like crushed that immediately. So we didn't. That was the first one we did. So we didn't think about it. We were
Mm.
like, oh, it keeps saying that there's some kind of in game.
I,
Um,
I I think another thing I like. So when we're talking about co-op games, are games that we play co-op and we feel like we're actually playing together, helping each other out. There's a benefit to playing with each other, as opposed to some of these co-op games are just kind of playing together separately. It's yeah, you're playing together on the same map, but you're really not interacting, doing anything.
yeah,
Where Total War is like, oh, should we fight this one? Do you want to try to meet up? Do you want me to send an army over? Or hey, you handle the archers, I'll handle all the melee,
yeah,
or I'll
yeah, yeah.
handle this front, you handle that front.
Because yeah, even that like when we would do a battle and it would just be one of yeah, we would do that right. Like even if it was just you doing a battle, I would
Yeah.
join. I wouldn't have my army, but you would sit there and say, hey, you can here, you can have the archers.
Yeah, yeah. Or I think one that I like to do when you came in on my fights, I like to like give you the cavalry and then have you like do the charge in, wait the 10 seconds or whatever, and
Yeah,
then charge back out, and then keep because it's like really micromanaging some of those things. So,
yeah.
but yeah, that it actually feels like it just feels like we're playing together, and
Yeah, no, Total War.
yeah,
Total War was
yeah.
good.
I think it was a lot of fun though.
Oh, I guess. So this is going to be kind of cheating. We're not cheating, but how many crossovers do you think we're going to have in 5?
3.
3.
Not counting any honorable mentions. Yeah,
I'm gonna give 3 as well. All right,
3.
just
I'm
just
I'm
so
starting
yeah.
3. Yeah,
All right, all right. So Total War, huh? All
Total
right,
War.
all right. You good?
Good.
All right, my number 5. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Anastasi. Arma 3 Anastasi mod.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with the Anastasi mod. Like, and I
The
remember
only
when you and me first started, like, because it was kind of irritating at first, where it's, we had shotguns or bolt. I don't know. That whole as much as Arma 3 is buggy, and when you put mods on top of it, it becomes even more buggy. Once you and me work through all those bugs, and then started like capturing like an island, and started like building up our, hey, we got so many guns now that, because whatever it was, like once we got 20 of some kind of gun, it was unlimited, and then we started
Right.
hiring people, like we got money, because you start out early where it's like, hey, let's just drive up into the town and do drive-bys.
Right.
Let's just try to steal stuff. Let's try to do this. Okay, and then it gets to the point where you and me were hitting military bases and stealing tanks, and but then we didn't
Yeah.
want our tanks to get blown up, so it's like, all right, we'll drive one tank. That whole feeling of when we would go out and a tank would blow up, or we'd lose a tank,
Right.
it was like, oh man, like
Yeah.
and it was like that progression to me, like I was enjoying that like so much, like, yeah.
I like the collection aspect of that too. Like, okay, we need 20 of these guns. Let's not blow them. Let's go and get 20 AKs before we start equipping them and going and losing them and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I think the magazines and all the ammunition was the same way. And another thing I liked about it a lot was like when you found a vehicle and you got a vehicle, how exciting it was. It's not
Yeah.
like you just
Yeah.
spawn it in and you're just gonna hop in and fly it or whatever.
Yeah, it was, hey, this is, yeah. No, I I just remembered, like, you and me, I think we were trying to hit some kind of outpost, and we had hit the level high enough. It's almost like Grand Theft Auto. It gets so many stars where, hey, they're going to hit you with everything. And I remember you called out and was like, "Yep, oh, they got the paradrops coming in. Like we got paratroopers coming in." And then either you called out or I called out that they dropped a tank on us. Do you
Mhm.
remember that?
No.
Like that was the first time that it was like, because we were just doing infantry and stuff, doing it, and you see this tank like parachuting down, and it was like, oh, okay, great. Like, let's
It was
get out
like
of here.
APC, I think,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. It was like the BMP-2 or
Yeah. Oh yeah,
whatever it
with
is.
the gun on the
Yeah,
top.
yeah. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, do you continue fighting, or do you just like count your losses and get out of there? And I
Get out.
think,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, that's my number five, Anastasi.
Yeah. That starting from nothing and working your way up and then
Oh
having
yeah, I love
something.
that, man. I
I
love that.
like that, and I think you know several of my games actually have that, including Total War. You start out with very little as a big build up.
Uh,
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at my list.
Oh,
I got my list up
yeah.
in front of me. Like, yeah, mine. Maybe not so
My
much.
tr- that transitions though. My number four, which is I think is going to be an overlap, is going to be Valheim, and that is again starting from nothing. The adventure of the whole thing is what kept me going. That was one of those games where I didn't look anything up until we absolutely had to, or I don't. No, I don't think we really looked anything up. And when Eric joined us, we were like, dude, no spoilers, man." So
Yeah, like,
we looked up one puzzle because it was just irritating, and then at the very end, it started to drag on. We were like, "All right, we're just ready for the game to end." Like after 100 hours or something, we're
yeah,
like, "All right,
yeah,
yeah, we're just ready for it to end." And like the last 4 or 5 hours, we were both, I think, kind of, "All right, we just want to finish it and move on."
and we did.
We did,
We finished it and we moved on.
yeah,
That was a fun. It was a fun 95 hours of the 100 hours that we played.
yeah, it was,
Like, I will say what is it? A birch tree. It's a birch tree. It's like a white tree. I don't
mhm,
know,
the
spots on it.
hardwood or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, but it was a birch tree in the game that you would cut birch trees down, and yeah, and you'd get hardwood from it. Is that where you'd get the hardwood from?
I think so. And didn't you have to have like a special axe or
Yeah, yeah,
something? I
yeah.
don't even
And we would
remember.
all go like look for the, hey, I found some birchwood. Da da da. I remember you and me played that game so much that I drove over to like Seth's house to pick him up, to go to the range or whatever. And I'm sitting in his driveway and I look over and he's got like 2 or 3 birch trees in his yard. I remember I'm looking at I don't know what trees look like, but I knew those were birch trees. And I remember he got in and I think he had just started playing like with us, and I was like, Seth, birch trees, go get them, like get the hardwood, like get the birch trees, like.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah, that
game
was.
that game taught me what birch trees are.
So you do see, kids, you do learn something from video games.
Yeah.
Um, but that's I think it's funny games like that. You look back after like getting midway through the game, and you realize when you thought you had something, you didn't have crap. Remember we had a base built, and a steed just kind of just blew through it. Like we thought we had a nice little house set up and all that. And we had a little campfire or whatever, and the steed just kind of exploded the whole thing.
That big deer.
Yeah,
Yeah. The first boss that we
yeah,
fought. Yeah. No, that was.
yeah. Just exploded.
No,
Right.
man. Valheim is not on my list.
I
Now
thought it would have been.
yeah, but now that you're selling me on it, like I guess when we get to the honorable mentions and stuff, it may pop up again. Well, it will, but
That's
yeah,
the shared sense of exploration in it too, and loss. Like you put your stuff on the boat to go try to establish a new camp or whatever, and
Y-
yeah, I don't know. It was frustrating, but I think a good game kind of goes through all the emotions though, like the excitement, the anger, sad. Yeah, it goes through all the emotions, and that's what makes. That's why Alien Fireteam is nowhere near on this list because
oh man, don't steal my thunder, man.
don't tell me you got that on this list.
Don't steal my thunder.
All right. So that's my number 4, Valheim. Then.
All right, so my number 4 is it's gonna be Hunt Showdown.
Oh man, I
Yeah.
thought you were gonna say. I thought you were
No,
gonna say.
no, I'm gonna roll with. Just wait. Later on the list, maybe you'll see that aliens. But yeah, number 4 is gonna be Hunt Showdown.
I'm
Like I don't know.
surprised
Yeah, I
actually.
don't know. This is like Cult of the New kind of stuff. Like an extremely like we talked about. It's an extremely fragile game that it is very fun sometimes, and is very frustrating and annoying
Mhm.
most of the time.
Yeah.
But you have those good games, like you'll have that good run, and it's like, man, this game is awesome. Like this game is great. Hey, let's level up, let's do this, let's buy more equipment, let's do it again. And maybe you have like another run where it's like, man, this was like a great game. And then you just have that run of just like, okay, like I and I'm not saying there's cheaters out there. I don't know. Like, I'm not that. We are the home of mediocre gamers. Like, we're not dominating these games. But yeah, there's some times where it's like, okay, like I thought I shot that guy 1,000 times and
Yeah.
I died instantly. I knifed that guy a few times and you know but then there's those games where you don't think that it's going to happen, and I think like you and me, we was it you, me, Seth, like that we got both bounties.
Yeah, and I think we took out a group too.
Yeah, we took out a
We've got a
group,
couple times.
took out both bounty, because I remember we took out the bounty and I was like, let's get out of Dodge, man, let's do it. And you're like, nah, let's go for the achievement, see if we can get both bounties. And I was like, okay, like we're done. And sure enough, we get the other bounty and we got out of there. That was actually like one of my highlights, playing games recently, where it's like, dude, like I even bragged like other people that like, oh, you do a Hunt Showdown. Yeah, we got both bounties and got off the map. You know.
What one time in like 200 games.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's like, well, yeah, I won Fortnite once. Like it's
Yeah.
that same thing. Like you just like, nope, I got both bounties. We got off the map. Yeah, we're good. You know.
I like that about that game. There's a good bit of PvE and PvP both in it, and then a lot of it's like you can see who all's gotten off the map. You hear how much gunfire. Like, you can put all the pieces of the puzzle together and kind of be able to deduct how many people are still on the left on the map. Is it worth going for the other bounty? Should I just get out of here and keep my character? Or
Yeah.
like, we've had times where we've won firefights and we're like, you know what? I think that's enough of a victory. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Let's
let's just
go.
call it a victory.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
we just ignored the bounty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've had times where we've taken bounty and not even come across anybody. So um, that game, it seems like it's so hit or miss. But
Yeah.
yeah, like you said earlier, it's
It's
got to be push
fragile.
and pull. Yeah.
It's a fragile game.
hmm
So, anyways, that's my number 4. Hunt Showdown.
So my number, I was like looking for a piece of paper. I got it, Rachel. Number 4. Number 3 for me. I don't know if you're expecting this on the list, but Gunfire Reborn. That's one that I still have the urge to play, but it's not really brought up much, so I haven't really pushed for it. And there are a lot of other games that we've been wanting to play too, so but Gunfire Reborn, um I don't know. I like the progression on it, and I like the randomness. It's almost like what I wish Risk of Rain 2 were. I really, if Risk of, I wish it were like that, but not first person, obviously. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. It's just, I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. And then the random items, the builds are always different every time you run it, and you can still have progression. You can still kind of set your character up a little bit at the beginning, swap characters, and yeah, that it's pretty much it.
Yeah, no, I think Gunfire Reborn did like a good job of rogue light. Yeah,
hmm
light.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And one other thing I want to say on that though, and I think another reason why I like it is unlike really Valheim as well, kind of unlike Valheim and Total War. Like you can't just have just anybody jump into your game. Like you don't necessarily want just anybody jumping into your Valheim game after 30 hours and destroying all your crap, or somebody just jump into your Warhammer get is hard where Gunfire Reborn, you and I can be playing, and then 2 or 3 more people will jump online, and we're like, oh yeah, come on in, or 2 more anyway. Yeah, jump in, let's play.
Yeah. No, I, I will admit that I forgot about Gunfire. That that may have made my list. Um, Gunfire Reborn's it's a great game. It's good. It's a good roguelike game. Good progression. For even with 2 people, like you and me, when we first started playing, I was like, man, this game's fun. And when you and me like learning the bosses, like normally I don't like games like that where it's, hey, here's a boss, try to learn their movements, try to like figure out like, hey, when to strike, when to move, when to. I don't like games like that. I'm not a big Castlevania, Metroid, like any of those kind of. But this is a first-person shooter and doing like the roguelite elements
Right.
and the gosh, what's the term for it when you're running the game and it's like, oh hey, I got this item that gives me this combo or gives me this ability. I'm gonna try this build. Maybe it is rogue. Maybe it is like a rogue style. Um, doing that run. I don't know, man. I had so much fun. It was like, dude, I've got a good build.
Mm.
Because didn't you like did that one build where you had like one health point,
Yeah.
the entire game, but you had a ton of shields. And didn't you? Was that the same one where it's like, but if you got
They
close,
couldn't kill me.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
had something because we actually beat the last boss on the expansion on I think it was a harder, maybe I don't remember if it was a harder difficulty or something or how it was, but everybody else was dead like the whole time, and the whole time he couldn't kill me because my shield was just constantly
yeah,
maxed out.
yeah, yeah,
Where
or the one where it's, hey, if you kill someone, if you're within, I don't know, 2 meters of them, you you get one max health point every
oh yeah,
time. So if you get that early in the game, it's like, hey, don't kill these people. I want to run up and like kill them.
Right.
Because I remember we played one of those, and like you start out and you just do it, and then by the end of it, your hit points are
Like 700
yeah,
or whatever.
like
Yeah.
ridiculous, and it's like, oh
Yeah.
man, this is fun. Like every game, it's the same. The game's the same
Well,
throughout.
pretty
Like
much.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just hey, we're gonna go here. We're gonna kill these stuff, but it's those items. Those
Yeah.
items that you get, they switch it up where hey, I'm gonna play differently.
Right.
I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna do this.
Right.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good pick, man.
And there's one other quick thing too is sometimes you'll find an item and you're like you got a couple items and you got this item that goes with that and there's one item that if you get that'll make like the perfect build. So like you pick up this item that's totally useless to you right now and you just hope that you find that piece of gear later on or that gun or whatever later on that you really need that combos. It makes a really good combo.
Yeah,
And if you don't find it, you're like, "Well, crap," but when you do find it, if you're like, "Oh, I did," because one of them was like, "Curse scrolls are good," or something like that.
yeah. I remember the curse
Yeah,
scrolls. Yeah, yeah.
and then you get, I don't know, you pick that up and you're getting curse scrolls and you're getting screwed with curse scrolls, and then you finally find that item, and then you're like, "Yeah," like, it's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool feeling, but
Nah, that's a good pick, man.
yeah, so that was number three, Gunfire Reborn. It turns out there was plenty to say about it after all.
All right. My We're on number 3.
Number three.
All right. I'm gonna go with Across the Obelisk. Like
Yeah,
the
I
yeah
forgot about that one.
yeah yeah. Well, you've been hitting me with stuff that I forgot about too.
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot that
Yeah.
that 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 Donald J is my Total War.
Yeah. So Across the Obelisk, like I the first time that I love deck builders. That I love board game deck build, like playing like in real, like in the real world, deck builders. And then
Right.
obviously Slay the Spire, Rogue Book, I love them. Across the Obelisk, finally having it where I could play with someone else, dude, I love
Hmm.
it. And on top of that, like I think you almost need to have someone else because you're controlling 4 different decks. So it made it easy for you and me. Like, hey, I'll take the healer and I'll take the wizard. You take the combat. You take the tank and you take the damage dealer. Let's spread it
Right.
out like that.
Right.
But the neat thing was because I think we played a couple times where it's like, you know what? Let's try doing 2 tanks and 2 magic users, or let's try using all like you could switch up the characters and do whatever you wanted with it and build the
Right.
decks to I don't know. Man, I thought it was good. I would say like the one downside of Across the Obelisk, and it's mainly on how you and me play games. Once we get into a game, we push through it. Like we were averaging, I think, like 4 hours a run, and we would do it
Right.
straight. And
Right.
that was my only thing. Like it would always get kind of towards the end. It's like, gosh, man, like it's a long run. It's not a quick game,
Right.
Uh, which is fine if you take breaks. If it's like, all right, we'll stop it here, which,
We
I,
learned about the autosave though. We could just save it and back out. So
yeah,
that was handy to have. But the issue is when you come back after like you and I will play games on Friday and Saturday or something. And then it might be next Friday or Saturday before we play a game again. And by that point we're like, "Oh, let's just start a new game."
yeah.
So it is kind of hard it takes forever, especially if I'm doing a blood build.
Gosh, man. Yeah,
That's pretty bad.
that was like
I had to
that
sit
was
there and
relatively early on, and I almost quit playing. Like, waiting,
oh man.
waiting the 15 minutes for you to like pick your cards, and I was
I
like,
was
no
trying
more,
to figure yeah, I
no
was just
more.
trying to figure it out, like, cause for some reason to me, the blood builds were just very complicated. I don't know, maybe that's
Yeah.
just me, but the poison,
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
easy, all those it was all easy. Um, but
And I guess by
yeah,
blood builds, I guess the whole thing like bleeds, like the bleed build. Like you would attack someone, you'd put bleed on them, but you would have cards that could pull the bleed off to put it on you, and then you'd have cards that would take your bleed to multiply it and throw it on other people. Like, so
Right.
it was crunchy. It was a big crunchy, that you had to sit
But
there and
yeah, I know it's probably a great build and all, but it was way too thinky for what I wanted. And it is kind of a thinky game though. Like you gotta kind of pick your luck, when you make your deck and stuff.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I think like if you and me, if we the first few games that we went from the beginning to the end, because when we first played it, like any kind of rogue kind of game, we were dying in the first map. You wouldn't make it out the
yeah,
first map, and then we
first
made
half
it.
of the map.
Yeah. I mean, we were having troubles on the first battle, and then boom, you make it past that. You boom, 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 and whatever it is, 3 or 4 like main like maps that you're doing. Um, and it took us, I'm pretty sure 4 hours, 4.5 hours was like, hey, from start to killing the boss. And then we could increase difficulty, all that different stuff. I think like even if you and me like now that we know how it plays, we play it on the normal difficulty, start to finish. I'm still thinking 2 hours.
2 hours, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that
Yeah.
we could get maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. But I mean, that is just boom, 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 quick playing cards. I mean, you got four characters having to run their decks.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, with two people, it is kind of nice. You know your two guys decks, and I think having more than four of those too much. Like or two people is too much. If it's three, one person's controlling two. Yeah, and if it's four, I don't know. It
It's a
just
lot
seems
of
like
well, it'd be a lot of downtime.
and a
You
lot
know.
of coordination and stuff. I think two was perfect, and
Yeah.
I mean one of my favorite builds we did was two tanks, a spellcaster, and um the healer because I did like that spikes build, skin spike build or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. When you got that antler woman, the deer
Yeah,
woman.
yeah, and
Yeah.
there was that one skill that I selected, and it was something crazy. It was like a glass cannon build, and I'm like, I'm gonna pick this. I know we're screwed, but it was right there at the end of the game, and the boss ended up killing himself in like 2 hits
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, yeah. Because we were like, oh man, this isn't gonna work. Because it was you lost all your health, um, but everything, all of your block. No, it was every block that you did, you didn't get the block. You got thorns instead. So if someone hits you, they get damaged. That
Right, and
that's what it was.
I think I had like double my shield cards and stuff like that or something.
Yeah,
Like had
so
some
it's like, well,
crazy stuff.
obviously, when they hit, it's just going to kill you. Yeah, just run with it. We'll see what happens. And I remember,
Right.
yeah, your person got really
Yeah.
thorny, and yeah, the boss killed themselves on you.
hmm
Yeah,
That was pretty good. That game's great though.
no, it's good.
Yeah,
So that's my
it belongs on the list.
that's my number three.
Yeah, number three.
Across the obelisk.
Number two. Not that this game is poop. It's a good, good game. I'm gonna just
We haven't had a single crossover, have we?
no, but these top two are gonna be crossovers. I bet my drink on it.
All right.
Well,
I don't think they are.
Hell Let Loose, number two.
You like Hell Let Loose?
Hell Let Loose. I haven't been in the mood to play it this weekend, but it belongs up there because it's another where, as long as you have the right people in the squad, um, you have that communication, and if somebody lets the leader lead, and give orders and follow the orders. That's what makes it fun, and everybody cycles and gets a chance to lead, and gets a chance to play the different classes that they want to play, and yeah, I mean, the only games that are it's either really fun.
It's fragile.
Um,
It's fragile. It's another fragile
uh,
game.
it's not as fragile as the Western one. What's it called? You just
Yeah,
mentioned it.
Hunt.
Hunt. It's not nearly as fragile because you can have some mediocre games. Hunt it's kind of hard to have a mediocre game. But we've had games where it's me, you, and Seth, and Davis or whoever, and like we're all, I'm like, all right, Seth, you watch this, and Seth's the medic, and you're there with a machine gun, and me and Davis go and get you set up to watch this way, and then I'll set, and we'll end up losing the game, but we're holding our area, we're doing our job that the commander told us to do,
Yeah.
and that's more fun than having that amazing team where you're just pushing and basically camping their enemy spawn. That's boring to me.
Yeah.
I'd rather lose and have that amazing kind of coordination and, oh, we lost the point. Then we come back and we get it together, working as a team, moving up, leapfrogging and all that stuff. And then not to mention that's just the infantry side of it. Then you have the tank crew side of it, which is kind of fragile in my opinion. The tank part's very fragile because
Really?
it takes so long to get up to the fight. And then if you have a
Uh,
bad run,
yeah,
it's 20 minutes.
yeah, I
It's
can see.
20 minutes to get up to the front line.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But when you have those good tank fights though, and you're taking out tanks and destroying it like that's amazing too though. So what a rush.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's an okay game.
Okay, all right. Well, that's number two. Hell Let Loose. Apparently, Pat doesn't like it.
All right. All right. My number 2 is Hell Let Loose. Dude,
Oh, what's that? What's
yeah.
that? Tell me about it. Why don't
Dude,
you tell me about
I
it?
tell you, man, I love Hell Let Loose. Hell Let Loose is it's a game. It's a fragile game. It's one of those that either infantry or even like doing armor squads. Um, Communication is key. And I hate talking to people on the internet that I don't know. I've always hated that. It's like, if I don't know you, I don't want to talk to you. That is a game that it's like you join the game and you have a commander and squad leaders that give like concise orders. They give like boom. They don't have to be the right orders, but if they
Right,
give good orders on like go up here, go up to this town and hold this town. Got it. Like boom.
right,
We're all gonna die in this town. You know, but I have my orders to hold this town.
right.
Like boom. Those games are great.
They are, yeah.
And then you'll play. Oh, the commander's not talking. The commander's being
Mhm.
argumentative. He's yelling at people. Like, oh, okay, man. But I like it. Like, it is a huge. It's almost like a leadership study. Like, you can sit there and look at like what makes a good leader in this video game on the normal population of just people playing this game, where it's like, look, this person has leadership skills. This person
Right.
does not. This person, and then that's just infantry. Like running tanks. Oh man, playing like a 3-man tank squad, like you, me, and whoever. Like, man, I have so much fun with that. Like,
Yeah.
and honestly, like we've also created our own language to each other in the tank. To be concise, to be, on hey, if I say this is what I'm
Right.
doing. Like it makes everything run super smooth. I don't know.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
like creep, ass forward,
Yeah,
ass
yeah,
left, right, Um, yeah, yeah, just we know that whenever we stop, the commander needs to, okay, if like the driver needs to stop, the commander needs to let the driver know which gear to be in.
yep,
Like,
yep.
you know,
You want me in
uh,
reverse? Do you want me to go like ready to go forward? What's the positioning? Hey, and
right.
then also with like commander, it's like one of those is the hey, can you kind of let me know what you're thinking? Like, hey, I'm thinking we're gonna peek around this bush. I'm thinking that okay,
Yeah,
I
hell
got
of
it,
a bigger.
I got it in my mind. Okay, I'll put you, and it's one of those. It's easy enough to sit there and be drive straight, right, 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 drive straight,
Right, right.
left, right, or hey, you see that wall up there? I want you to put your right side as close up to as you can, enough to give the gunner like visibility to the right. Gunner, let us know when you have visibility.
Yeah,
As a
right, right.
driver, it's like, got it. Hey, I'm creeping up. All right, dropping into first gear. All right, moving up, moving up. Gunner, let me know, let me know, let me know. stop here, boom, you know.
Right.
All right, keep it in reverse. Okay, reverse, cover on the right. Like, yeah, Hell Let
Yeah.
Loose, man, great
There's been
game.
several when I'm running the commander, I like to know which headings the driver can see. Can you see,
Yeah,
between
yeah, well, yeah, especially if I have a
like
gun, yeah, or
yeah,
obviously
like
I'm usually the
true north.
driver, but yeah, hey, I've got from 030 to zero whatever 60. I
Right.
mean, obviously it's bigger than that, but yeah, it'd be.
Yeah. But and that's another thing we learn. We learn not to say Pat, or
Oh
whoever
yeah,
is
yeah,
Seth.
yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah, we
true. Yeah,
say
yeah,
we
yeah.
say we say driver,
Driver.
gunner, commander.
Boom. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
true. I forgot that we do
Because
that.
because when we swap roles, and I don't care who the driver is, the command's still the same. I want you in first, I want you moving forward, or I want you full speed ahead. We're gonna go down this road and stand by for update or whatever. Gun, I want you to the rear. And actually, speaking of the leadership thing, like, I mean, there's times where I don't have anything for the gunner to do, or I don't have anything for the driver to do. So I'll just give an order of some kind. I'm like, hey, driver, look, keep an eye over there on the left, behind and I know there's nobody, there's probably not gonna be anybody over there, but,
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, no,
but
idle
it's
hands. You never want idle hands. It's
right,
like
right,
give someone a task, and it's like I will do the task. You know.
right.
Yeah.
Right, and then because if they're doing nothing, they're gonna be looking at their phone or whatever, like while and then somebody runs by, they're looking at their phone, and I'm like, dude, driver, is there you just gonna let that guy go or what? Like, uh, um, but it's just so good. The good games are great in the tank, but the bad games are so bad. But the infantry can go either way though. Like it can go great, medium, or bad. Like it's not so fragile, I don't think, in infantry.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess I never thought about it. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
No,
but
I would
yeah,
say hey, good pick on my part for number two.
no, I think that's a really good number two. If I probably should have put it as my number two as well.
All right.
All right, so number two was Hell Let Loose for Pat, and Pat's number one and my number one both.
Now you got to say your number one.
All right, I just think they're gonna be the same game though.
Oh, yeah, you would think that.
Oh no! All right, it is Rim Job,
I don't know what that game is.
Rim World.
RimWorld.
Yes, Rim World.
I guess we can go ahead and get mine out of the way too. My number one is going to be RimWorld.
That was such a boring like number one. I went, it's just I don't know, man. What a Hey, you start this one off, man. I've ranted. I've ranted
Well,
far
I guess we
already.
should preface this with RimWorld. Well, obviously this is a co-op top five,
Yeah,
but
RimWorld multiplayer
yeah,
mod.
yeah, you got to put the multiplayer mod. Um, uh, you could throw a bunch of other mods on there too, but it doesn't really matter. You could put the DLC on there. It doesn't matter. It makes it better. But I would say even like vanilla RimWorld, just with the multiplayer mod, dude, I think you and me have had so much fun. Like I have so much fun, like
It's
doing it.
a
Yeah, I,
it's unhealthy amount of fun.
yes, like I will say like to the point that I think it was like close to it was a few weeks ago where we got up in the morning, we started playing, and I told you I was like I'm gonna set an alarm for 1 hour.
Yeah,
When my alarm goes off, I'm going to turn the game off. You
yeah.
remember that? And I was like,
That was actually the start of the campaign, the game we're playing now.
oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it sucks me in so much that it's just like boom. It's a stomach hurting game. It makes my stomach hurt. I start playing the game and my stomach starts hurting, and I realize I haven't eaten in 3 days. you know?
Yeah. I forgot to eat lunch and dinner
Like
and breakfast.
I forgot to go do anything. I forgot to go to work.
Yeah.
I forgot to like I'm so into it, you know, and just with RimWorld because it is just you're just watching. It's like The Sims. You're just watching people live their lives. That's all the game
It's
is.
better. You can't eat people in The Sims and like harvest their
Oh
organs
no,
pop
yeah,
out their eyes and stuff.
yeah. RimWorld is far better, but it's the same game mechanic. You're just watching people live their lives, and you're sitting there saying, "Hey, I need you to do this and go do this," and when you get a chance, go do this, and then you just sit back, you know. But then, now I will say the DLCs they raise it to a higher level, especially
For sure. Yeah.
what's the ideology, whichever
hmm
that one is.
The slave one.
No, is it just called ideology?
Ideology, I think, is the one that introduced the slave thing, like actually being able to use the
Well, I mean,
slaves and stuff.
it introduced that. It introduced like cannibalism, everything. Like,
Oh yeah, it did. Like all the religions and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, that
it
makes a big
introduced.
difference.
Well, it's just the ideology where it's like we're gonna, this is the ideology of our group. Like, they don't care if they see, dead bodies, or they only eat human meat, or
Right.
they don't eat meat, or like, like this is the stuff that I don't know. That stuff I think is so neat. Made the game. The game was great already. Made the
Right.
game so much better. Also,
Yeah.
where it's just all right. Like maybe replayability. I guess I should say that. Like the game was great. It added so much stuff where it's like I could play this over and over and over again. Because now I'm gonna. How about let's play a group and all we are slavers. We're evil
Right.
slavers that are gonna raid and we're gonna like capture people. Or let's do a game where we don't kill people. We're only vegetarians. We're only like you can make those ideology things where you do it. But
Right.
I don't know. I think it's
It,
great.
I like how we can put together those scenarios together at the very beginning and kind of run through it. Like this one now, we're like, all right, let's just get our original 10 colonists. We just did a custom game. Let's get our original 10 colonists off the planet and we'll call it a victory.
Yeah.
And we have one of our colonists dead in a freezer right now because we're trying to find a life, like a serum to bring him back to life.
Yeah.
And that way we can bring him back to life and we can all leave the planet or whatever. I think we should kill off everybody else, like the slaves, though. Like do a mass execution.
Which our people actually enjoy seeing.
They would want to do that.
They enjoy seeing public executions and mass executions. Like our people are so messed up. Like it's
Yeah.
great. Like it's great. Like we
It,
like we built cages throughout our base that just have dead bodies in them just to freak out the slaves, and our people think that it's okay. It's like, yeah, it's great.
you
Like
know,
like they actually get a mood boost seeing that stuff. Like
it's so weird that it's even weird mentioning it and recording it on a video for YouTube. Like it's like, oh yeah, we've got like four slave children. We executed one of them because he was an idiot. You know.
but I remember like the funny thing is our people don't like butchering. They don't like butchering or like because you tried to extract like a heart or a kidney out of
Oh
somebody.
right, they don't like organ harvesting.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
people they got so pissed, like the whole
I,
colony got upset because they
I
butchered.
was pulling. Well, we needed money, so I was pulling the kidneys out of all the
Yeah,
slaves.
yeah. And I
Yeah,
remember it's like, but in the same sense, they're like, oh yeah, we want slaves and we want dead bodies everywhere, and we don't care about stuff. Oh man, don't harvest organs. That's gross. And
yeah,
then
right.
and then because we had messed up the butcher's table, and this is horrible, but somebody went and butchered a human and got their leather, the human leather. Do you
Oh,
remember
somebody
this?
put it on and wore it, didn't they?
Well, no, the human leather got mixed in with like the main leather, and then someone made a shirt out of the human leather, And it got mixed in, and then because it was the whole thing. It's like, why is everyone upset? And it was like, oh, there's butchering. Oh, all right, quit doing this. Da da da. And then someone's wearing this human leather shirt, and everyone was pissed. And it was like, oh my gosh, like,
It'll take it off and burn it.
like yeah, it was like get rid of the shirt, do this, da da da. We're gonna take that shirt down to like the local town, and I think I sold it to the the other locals, the village next to us. They bought
Yeah,
it, and all of our people got happy, like, okay, hey, yeah, no more human leather shirts.
and we could you could do caravans and start up a little villages and little
So,
camps and stuff. We haven't even done other villages or camps or anything. We did our first major raid,
yeah, we're like 30 hours into the game.
maybe even more, honestly.
Well, with this game, with this
This campaign. I know. I'm saying we might be more
well,
actually. Oh no, man. One thing that stinks about that game, I have to give it a negative, is like sometimes you can die like not late game, but not exactly early game either. Maybe somewhere in the middle, and your tech tree is
yeah,
like half full,
after
and
you've
then
put a lot of
something.
time in, yeah.
Yes, like I want to say like 8 hours in, and then but you want to keep playing the game, but you die, and we only run permadeath. We don't do saves or anything like that. So yeah, it stinks. So like this game, we started out, we just wanted to accelerate it a little bit, get through so we started out with the assault rifles, I think.
I started out with like a ton of like or 200 components and 10
Right.
assault rifles, and I think everyone got flak jackets too.
Hmm. And it was just to try to get us back up to where we were because we had just bombed the game before from an infestation or something. But I don't. I mean, maybe it was a little cheesy having everybody having an assault rifle from the start, but
No, because I built it in where I was like, hey, this is our story. Because
oh yeah, it's
because
true.
yeah, because
It's our
we're
scenario.
the Den of Bruce. We are 10 people that have landed on this planet, and our goal is to take over the planet. That because I remember I was like, that's the story we're going. Like, it is. We did not crash land here. No, we airdropped onto this planet. Like,
Yeah, but now we're like trying to get off the planet, the 10
yeah,
of us. So
yeah. Now it's like we're. Do we have enough corn?
yeah,
Like, do do we have enough medicine? Hey, make sure. Do we have enough like rocks to like build a wall? Like,
we do need to find a slaver though, and like try to buy some more slaves or something.
oh, I thought you were like sell all our slaves. Like,
No, no, buy some more so that we could. I don't know, man.
great game.
I wish. Yeah, it is. I could keep going on it.
That's a great game. That's why it's number one.
Yeah,
So I think that you and me only had two crossovers.
two, and they happen to be one and two.
Yeah. What's your you got any honorable mentions?
I do. So nostalgic, and this is from a long time ago when we used to play or try to play
Is this gonna be
Company
like
of Heroes,
Company Heroes? Yeah.
like the first one. Yeah. So that's why I like the second one so much.
It's like a throwback, man. This is like 20 years ago.
And that was when we had to like direct connect and all that stuff, and it
Yeah.
was a nightmare. And you had to spend like an hour and a half like talking me through how to like connect and all that shit, and it was really annoying. But that's honorable mention number one. Do you want me to just do? You want me to go through mine? There's only two
Yeah.
more.
Just hit all yours. Yeah.
Yeah. So the other one, I don't think this was up there for you at all, but Satisfactory. Um, and the reason for Satisfactory was because that was another one I was glued to. Not quite as bad as RimWorld, but I really liked kind of the um, coordination. Like, hey, you're gonna work on making this thing here, and then, but you need these three things,
Yeah.
and I was making two of the three things, and you're like, I need like this number per minute or something, and I would try to figure out my little factory over here, and we would kind of coordinate. Which is going back to RimWorld, we do that on RimWorld too. So like you handle the caravans, I handle messing up stuff, like killing boomalopes and catching
Yeah,
everything on
yeah,
fire.
you handled the spending all of our components on ridiculous stuff. But
Oh,
yes.
I do the defenses. But anyway, enough from world. And then we got I've got before I burnt out of it, Gloomhaven. I really enjoyed playing that one, but I burnt out of it really hard because we started playing Frosthaven. We had already played Gloomhaven, the board game, and then we're doing Blue Gloomhaven Digital, and now I'm playing Frosthaven, and I've just had enough Haven. So, but that's on there though because I really did enjoy like the first 30, 40 hours or whatever of that.
All right.
So, and then
Those those are your honorable mentions?
yeah, and there's a lot of small ones in there, but there's so many to mention. But
Yeah.
anyway,
So here are mine, and actually you're so uh, yeah. I'm gonna change some of my honorable mentions. I'm gonna add right now Gloomhaven. I completely forgot about Gloomhaven. Like I had so much fun. What did we do? 50? We had to do like 50 levels. 50, 60 levels of Gloomhaven.
yeah, yeah, and I did some recordings on them, just lazy recordings of a lot of those.
Yeah, so I actually forgot about that one. So not on my original list. So here's my honorable mentions. Satisfactory,
Oh
which
wow, that's on there.
yeah, so which you already talked
Oh,
about.
I'm
Yeah.
actually surprised you stuck that on an honorable mention.
No, I had a lot of fun with it, man.
Oh,
It's a great game. It's a big time sink game, but I really liked
mhm.
Satisfactory. Valheim. So Valheim was on your list though, your main
Right.
list.
Yeah. Right.
Valheim. Hey, uh, well, we talked about it already.
Yeah. It's one of those that'll be fond memories. I think all the top fives are all like kind of fond memories. Like we're gonna look back in 10 or 15 years and be like, oh man, that was
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah. Let's see. Door Kickers. Door Kickers 2. I threw that on there. Honorable mention. Uh,
Mhm.
that quick casual game, fun co-op.
That was gonna be on my quick one. I ignored my quick list and Door Kickers was on there.
Yeah,